All right. So Chris, I wanted to start everything a few minutes early here. Kind of give everybody some time to join us.
To get situated?
Get comfortable, get your cup of cocoa or tea, honest tea going on before we get started. Also, Chris, this gives us an opportunity to share with everybody what's kind of going to happen today.
Yeah, well, we've got 5 Facebook campaigns that we're going to be talking about today that I believe these campaigns and the blueprint that these campaigns work in are more important if you plan on using Facebook to be able to create a reliable system for replicating clients. A lot of changes have been taking place in Facebook.
Well, and absolutely, and we'll talk about those changes when we start. But I just want to remind everybody, we have not started just yet. We just wanted to open up the channel so everybody can join us. We're going to start in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, do us a favor though. If you can see and hear us, just go to the chat feature and say loud and clear, or even tell us where you're logging in from and say hi. We'd love to know where you guys are logging in from. But we do want to make sure that you can see and hear us. And if you have any challenges, like if it's the screen is fuzzy or something like that, there's a little refresh button, reconnect button.
Here's another thing. If you're on a mobile device like an iPad or your phone, it's not going to work appropriately. This platform is best used at a desktop or a laptop. So make sure that.
But if you're on a mobile device and on an iPad already, just stick with us. Get close to your router, get close to that Wi-Fi connection so that, you got the juice.
Cuddle up.
You got the juice,
Snuggle up.
But there have been a lot of changes taking place in Facebook. And to be honest with you, although some of these changes are very acute, if you look at Facebook as an advertising platform, over the last couple of years, really like the last, I would say 18 months, Facebook's been undergoing a change in its engine, right?
Like a metamorphosis.
It's like it's been going through a major change within how it decides what we're going to see in our news feed and in which order that we're going to see it. And if you're not creating Facebook campaigns or Facebook ads, or if you're not promoting and sharing content in Facebook the way it wants us to share this content and to be able to share these stories and these sponsored stories, if we're not working with Facebook, we're actually working against it. And all too often, because no one's really telling us, Facebook's not exactly telling us overtly, hey, here's how you should work with the Facebook algorithm so that more people will see your stuff. They give very general recommendations. So no one's really telling us what to do. And so the only way that I've been able to do it is through trial and error, right? So I've heard of these changes taking place. And it's been my goal over the last, since the beginning of using Facebook, it's always been my goal to try and work with how Facebook wants us to use the tool, right? And I think that for you guys who are joining us today, you're in for a treat, because we're going to be talking about specifically what types of strategies and ads, the messages, because you need both an effective strategy that works with the Facebook algorithm as well as effective messages. And those two things must work together, and they must work with the algorithm. When they don't, here's what you could expect to see. You're going to expect to see rising cost. You're going to see lower reach and distribution. And you're going to start to say to yourself, I don't think Facebook's working for me. And it's because it's not if you're not working with the algorithm.
Got it. All right. So like we said, David said, saludos a todos. Hola, David. We're going to get started in about 1 minute. And so what Chris is talking about here is what you came to learn about. We're going to get into all of that in about a minute. Now, here's what's going to happen. We're going to train for about 60 minutes. We've got a lot to share with you today. And then what's going to happen is we have some special tools and resources that you can use to further your education. Then we're going to get to about 30 minutes of Q&A. Now, if at any time during this presentation your screen freezes or it looks fuzzy, here's what's going on, is that YouTube is probably buffering the video for you. So all you need to do is hit the reconnect button. So if you're having any troubles whatsoever, just go up top and hit that reconnect button a few times, and you should be all set. And with that, Chris,
let's get started, guys.
Get started.
Real quick, guys, just because if you're wondering who we are, my name's Chris Scott. I'm a real estate digital marketer. I've been marketing real estate probably for the last almost 20 years now, 19 years. And I currently manage social media accounts with well over 200,000 followers and fans, and work to generate about 5,000 leads across our different businesses every single month. And one of the big tools that I use is Facebook.
Absolutely. And my name is Gary Kreth. I am a real estate listing expert and have been for about 22 years now here in Austin. I've been selling real estate for 22 years. Our real estate brokerage here in Austin was the only real estate firm in the world to have been featured by Apple Computers for our use in technology. And we've been perfecting that ever since. Now, in the peak of my selling career, I was going on about 6 listing appointments every week, and I was carrying about 50 active or pending listings at a time. So that's who I am, that's my history, and now Chris and I work together both in our real estate firm and here at Paperless Agent and in our marketing club to bring you everything that we're doing that works really well in our own practice. And so that's who we are.
Now, let's get this started, guys, with a show of hands. All right. So I want you to go to the chat feature, and I want you to tell me, just say yes, if you've ever thought or felt one of these 3 things that I want to share with you guys. So have you ever thought or felt to yourself, I'm sure I'm showing all this, I'm spending all this time in Facebook, but nobody's liking, commenting, or sharing my posts, even when I promote them. How many of you guys felt like and feel like, I'm spending all this time on Facebook, no one's engaging me, right? Say aye if that is you. Or perhaps maybe you felt this way. I'm spending all this time on Facebook, but nobody ever reaches out to buy or sell a home with me.
Man, look at this. Everybody's
right?
Like, yes.
Have you ever felt that? Because I'll tell you what, I know exactly how that feels. And here's the last one. Maybe you've tried using Facebook ads and you quite simply, said to yourself or felt, this doesn't work.
And you feel like you're just wasting your money.
Wasting money, wasting time, right? So if you've felt any of those 3 things, you are in the right place, my friends, because I'll tell you what, the first time I ever ran a Facebook ad was in 2013. Wow. Now, you guys remember, and it's still this. So in 2013, I went into Facebook and I said, oh, look, what's this? There's this boost post button.
So what'd you do?
I did like any person who was curious about it. I clicked on it, right?
And what happened?
I spent $5.
What else happened?
Well, I was wondering what was going to happen. So you know what I did? I clicked on it again. And I clicked on it again.
How many times did you click on it?
I probably clicked on that sucker 20 times that day, right? And spent about $100. And I was hitting that boost post button like it was a slot machine. It was like, come on.
And what was the outcome?
Well, the outcome was this. I realized that I didn't know what I was doing, right?
Okay.
Because it didn't work. Nothing worked. So what happened is at that point in time, I said, you know what? At first I gave up. At first I was like, this just isn't working. But I noticed it was working for other people. I noticed I was clicking on ads. I was clicking on stuff. So what was it about those things that made me engage those stories or those sponsored stories on Facebook? And what was different from what I was doing? Mm-hmm. And what I realized is I needed to learn. And so I did. And, since that time, we've spent probably $800,000 in the last 5 or 6 years trying to figure out how to make Facebook work. And I'll tell you what, we did figure out a blueprint to make this work. And we wouldn't have spent that much money if it wasn't working, right? So what happened is as we spent that money, we realized this is working. I'm going to share my screen because I want to quickly get into, I mentioned that there's this blueprint that evolved out of those years of investing and trying to figure out how to make Facebook work. And I'll tell you what, this thing works. It's been something that I've been refining over the years. And very quickly, early on, I figured out how to make Facebook work for us. It's really,
otherwise we wouldn't have spent $800,000.
We wouldn't have spent that kind of money. So let me pull my screen up so that you guys can see what that blueprint looks like.
Bear with us.
All right. So this is the blueprint that I developed.
And hit play.
I guess I can hit play, Gary. Thank you.
That'll get the full screen there. There we go.
Okay. So Here's the blueprint. I'm going to show you guys 5 campaigns that essentially implement this blueprint. So I'm not going to get too much into it other than to say this. When it comes to using Facebook today, right? When it comes to using Facebook today, what's important is that we must build an audience. I'm going to show you exactly 2 or 3 campaigns specifically designed to build an audience, because not everybody on Facebook is your audience. Right? So you have to go out to Facebook and carve out a little bit of an audience. I'm going to show you the types of ads that you do. I think I have 2 or 3 of them out of the 5 that are specifically designed to build an audience. The other thing that we have to do is we must build trust.
Oh, that's the number one key in real estate sales, is you have to build trust with people. And we can do that using a tool like Facebook.
Well, we, in real estate, we are in a professional services industry, right? And so when people hire us, our services, what they're doing is they're basing that off of trust. And so in order for them to trust us, they must know, like, and trust us. And so we have within Facebook, once we've carved out that audience, we have then campaigns specifically designed to build trust. Then we come and we make offers of help, or what we refer to as a value offering. A lot of you guys probably jumped to this point where, hey, I just want to generate a lead. And I'm going to tell you right now, you generate a lead without carving an audience out and building trust, you will find that those leads are, can I say the word crap, Gary?
You can say that. And I think that's where we feel like we're wasting money. We're wasting our time on Facebook because we go right to the value offering without doing the first 2 steps.
So in real estate, guys, and you know this already, even if you've bought leads from like one of the big home search sites, what's the difference between getting an online lead versus getting referred to, someone being referred to you from somebody that they trust? They come to you trusting you already.
Absolutely.
That's the big difference.
Yeah, and then the conversion process is so much faster.
Right? They value your expertise.
Yeah.
Right? They value and recognize, they're even willing to pay a premium for your expertise.
Because I am a trusted professional.
You are a trusted and recognized professional because you've built the trust, right? So that's why we have to build trust, then make those lead generation offers. And then the last piece to it is making sure we remind people of it.
So that's like staying in touch and just staying top of mind.
And it's showing those same ads over and over again, because here's what happens when people first see an advertisement. Let's say we're offering a home value report, or let's say we're offering a list of homes in a certain neighborhood that fit within a certain price criteria. In order for them to fill that out, it must be convenient for them, right? It can't be inconvenient. And so we want to remind people. We'll get more into that with the actual campaign. So my goal, Gary, and my goal today for you guys is to show you 5 simple Facebook campaigns to, 1, create an audience of people who are in the market, and 2, connect with them so they know, like, and trust you, and last, engage new and past contacts to work with you, i.e., that's when we have customers, okay? All right, so here are the 5 Facebook campaigns. You can take a screenshot of that or just make note. We're gonna go into these in detail. I've got screenshots showing you exactly all of these different campaigns. I'm gonna talk a lot about how to use them. I'm gonna share with you the strategy as well as the tactics behind this, because I want you guys to be able to walk away from our time together today saying, you know what, I can do this. I can do parts of this.
But as we get into this, Chris, I want to address a big question that we in real estate are really concerned about with Facebook.
What is that?
Well, we're really concerned that our ability to target our market based on specific demographics like their age, their zip code, et cetera, those are gone. They're going away.
Yeah, there's been a lot of scrutiny recently about Facebook and the targeting options that they've made available. Up until recently, if you were in real estate, you could say, I would like to market to people who are in this age range. Let's say, for example, you wanted to market to new home buyers, right? First-time home buyers.
Right.
Well, that usually is someone who's a little bit younger, right? So you might have used the age targeting features, right? Or perhaps you wanted to farm an area, right? So you used a specific zip code. Well, because of the scrutiny that they've gotten, and because you could focus on those as targeting features, what that meant also is a person who could also potentially discriminate using those features.
Right.
Now, not that they did, but the potential for discrimination was there.
Right.
And so HUD recently filed suit, and then a number of different government agencies said, you know what, Facebook, and they had been working with Facebook to be able to say it's possible for somebody to do this. Now, this gets into a lot of interesting components to it. I'm going to share with you guys something that's very important. I stopped using zip code targeting and and demographic-based targeting probably 6, 7, 8 months ago.
So what you're saying is all these changes that everybody's up in arms against about, you're like, that doesn't affect me whatsoever.
Well, here's why. You want to know why? It's not like I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. No, here's what happened. In my goal to work with the Facebook algorithm, right? My goal has been to work with the Facebook algorithm. So the Facebook algorithm, it's a process where it takes the 1,500 potential stories that I could see in a day and it ranks them. Here's the other thing that it does. It looks at the advertisements that might go into your newsfeed and uses the same process that it determines for organic content to determine what ads to put in there. So there's this big misconception with Facebook ads where people thought that if I told Facebook to put this ad in front of people who were within this certain age range, within this specific zip code, that Facebook was going to show your ad to all those people. That's not how it worked, my friends. So the way Facebook actually works is it would use that as a criteria, but it would look at that group of people that you said I want to market to, and it would find the subset of people with whom your ad's message would resonate with. Just like, right? So just like this, just like when, Aunt Susie posts her cat video onto Facebook, Facebook's going to go out there and say, all right, who of Aunt Susie's friends like cat videos? Who in the past has liked her cat videos? Who likes cat videos in general that might like to see this? So Facebook's taking this into account to be able to show that cat video to the people who might be interested in it. Same thing with and what is it? It's a cat video. It's a specific type of content. Well, your ads are the exact same, work the same way. It's a specific type of content based on the message. So a lot of times where we thought is it gave us a false sense of control with these targeting features, gave us a false sense of control that, oh, if I tell Facebook to put my ad in front of these people, it's a message to market match. And a lot of times we were lazy about the message.
Right.
It was not an effective message. So very few people might have been seeing it. So my goal has been to work with the algorithm and understand what does Facebook want to see. And the ads that we've created, the ads that I've created do not rely on the targeting features. So let me get into this first ad type. It's called a 30-second video clip. Now, of these 5 different Facebook campaigns, the first 3 are designed to build an audience, right? So this is essential. If you want to be able to build trust, and then if you want to be able to eventually generate leads on command, what you need to do is build an audience first. Your audience was not and never was people who were in a zip code who were within a certain age range. It has always been, well, for the last 18 months, I should say, for the last 18 months, it has been who wants to see your message, right? And so a lot of times when we would say just people in this zip code or people just in this age range, we were excluding lots of people with whom that message would have resonated with, right? We were missing out on opportunities. And that's what I found with our own Facebook ads was that, you know what, using an old school farming approach of just targeting this one zip code, I found that wasn't working for me. Right? It wasn't working for us. And so I started to expand, and through this process of iteration and change is how these different campaigns and how that blueprint came
let's
about.
get into them.
So
first one.
The first one is, you know what, I think I'm gonna change gears here for a second. What I'm doing is I'm creating really short, like 30-second videos, just using photos and some text. And what I'm doing is I'm going to Facebook with this short video, because Facebook really likes video, okay? Just like it likes cat videos. Well, if you're interested in real estate, guess what? You're gonna like real estate videos. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show people videos of real estate so that Facebook will be able to say, oh, if somebody watches 3 seconds of this video, they're probably more likely to be interested in real estate.
Thereby building our audience.
Because who looks at real estate? People who are in the market or potentially in the market to buy and sell in the near future. If you're not interested in real estate, guess what? You keep a scrolling. You don't care about that home on 3117 Ean Circle, right? Like this ad that you see there. So let me show you guys exactly what a video like this looks like. So I'm just
You're going to pull up your phone.
I am going to pull up my phone. You know why, Gary? Because I use this really cool app to do this. Let me pull it up over here. So guys, in order to make these videos, I'm going to show the video to you. And it's called Spark Video. It's an app. It's a free app from Adobe. And so it's really great because it's free. But what you can do is I'm just going to show you what one of these videos. So this is the video that goes in the ad. It's about 30 seconds.
Now you won't hear the music because of this platform.
You can see that basically it's really easy to come in here and create this video and see all that text that's showing up. I'm going to show you that is literally being done by this app. I don't have to worry about it at all. It's just happening. Now, granted, you're looking at this. This is a demo that I made. So you might be looking at what's the text saying? What's that text saying? And it might not make sense, and that's because I made this for the demo. It's not the actual one that I ended up creating for the ad. But you get an idea of, all right, here's a short video.
This is really nice. It's a really great quality video. I love the text.
Right. It's more engaging than a static photo.
Yeah.
Right. If you're in the market to buy or sell, now all of a sudden, this is interesting to you. So let me go ahead and show you how easy it is to create a video like this with just photos. So I'm just using photos, and this is, like I said, this is Adobe Spark. So I'm just using photos. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add a slide here. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to add a photo here. I've got photos. So you can add video. You can add text. I'm going to first add a photo. Let's go over here.
I love how it connects to Google Drive.
Oh, yeah. So I've got listings. I think that property is actually this Calabria. So I'm going to select that guy, hit done. Then I can come in here and add some text. So I'm just going to add some text.
Do you see how easy this is to create a listing video just with static photos? So you're taking the photo assets that you already have.
Yep.
You're going in here into Spark Video on your phone, and you're creating this video, and you can add text.
Yep. So I can drag and drop, and then you can see what that's going to look like by just hitting a preview. See?
Nice.
So that is how easy it is to make one of these videos. Now, here's what happens. Let me pop back over here. So I've got this ad, and it's got this video. It's a short 30-second video. By the way, I can add music to it, right? There's some music files, and I'm just running this. The whole point of running this ad, by the way, it's not that people are going to click on it. It's not that people are going to send a message. Facebook keeps track of who's watching this video.
We're building an audience.
Right? So I can come back to Facebook and create an advertisement saying, Facebook, go find all the people who've watched at least 3 seconds of this video, and I want to put an additional advertisement in front of them.
That's awesome.
Okay? So this is one type that I like to do that with. So you see, I've got this one video, right? And I'm spending about $1 a day. Okay, I'm not breaking the bank here. $1 a day. And what happens is for every listing, for every open house, for every recently sold, for every property that we have, I'm creating these little videos for. And so I've got all these videos. Let me zoom.
So this is not just about a single video.
No, but because what happens is over time. Now, the key here is over time. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. Over time is... how come?
Sometimes it just won't show. But over time, what happens is you start building a much larger audience, right?
Well, what happens is over time, watch this, guys. I want to zoom in on my screen here because this probably doesn't make... There are 20,000 people. You can't really see it. It's kind of, it's a smaller, I know what I need to do. Let me zoom in here. So over time, there's 20,000 people, an audience of 20,000 people have watched this.
So what I've kind of done here is I've kind of built a new followership, kind of almost like a different database, if you will, of Facebook people that I can now target, market my offers to.
So I'm building an audience of people who've watched at least 3 seconds of video.
That is incredible to be able to do that.
What that means, if they're watching 3 seconds of video, they are more likely to be in the market. Doesn't matter what their demographics are, right? As long as they live in the Austin area. And that's what my targeting for this is. I use an interest targeting as well as Austin, right? So about a 15-mile radius around Austin. And then the interest targeting that I do is if they like Zillow, or they like pages like Zillow, or they've been interested in content like Zillow. That's one of the interests. So, but this isn't the only type of video that I have. So this is one type, these like short 30-second animated videos, just taking the photos and building this audience. But she said, there's a lot of different types of videos that I do. Another one, and this is probably my favorite one, and this was something that happened quite accidentally. And I call this the Lazing Listing Tour.
Why do you call this? I mean, come on.
Because this is named after Gary. This was inspired by Gary.
Inspired.
So I said, Gary, we had this listing on the market on Toyota, and I said, Gary, could you do me a favor and get a good video of that home on Toyota? And he was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go get a really great video. So
hit play again so they can see the
So here's what he did. Gary goes over and he takes his phone
and my AirPods
and he walks around this house talking about it, showing the home.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. I got this thing and I was like, oh great. Gary, I asked for a good video, and you walk through your house with your iPhone.
So I think you were thinking I was going to take our videographer over there.
I thought you were going to get a videographer.
No, I got my phone.
So he goes out there, he comes back, he's like, I got the video, I get it. And I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to do with this? But you know what? They say, what is it that necessity is like the thing of invention or something like that. So here's what happened. I didn't have anything else to market this home with, so I used Gary's little lazy listing tour. And so what did you do? You just walked around the house, right?
Yeah, I did a walking tour of the home, showing people what the home features are like, and also essentially showing them what it's like to work with me.
So I put this in an advertisement. I used that same targeting, and guess what? This little ad started building an audience. People were sitting there watching this advertisement, and so it was able to contribute. It's one of these audience building videos that I have, contributing to the 20,000 people who watched one of our videos. Yeah, that one
built almost 2,000 people into our list.
$1 a day. $1 a day is what I'm spending on these types of things. And here's what
Adam said, necessity is the mother of invention.
Thank you. Yeah, because Gary, maybe it's because the sun was shining on Gary's face in this video and his hair was glowing and people said, oh, that's a handsome young gentleman looking at that home.
No, they were actually just interested in looking
at the house, and it was an interesting format for them to see it. So some of you might not be quite ready for doing a video like this where you're showing your face and walking through.
Or maybe it's snowing out and you don't want to go outside.
Right. So I've got a little alternative. There's another alternative to this lazy listing tour. This might be the ultimate lazy listing tour video because you never have to leave your house. All right. So here's what you do is you use a tool like Soapbox. This is a free tool, and there's some upgrades to it. But what Soapbox allows you to do, and it's a Google Chrome plugin.
Right.
So just if you're interested in using a tool like this, just Google Soapbox by Wistia. But what it allows you to do is it'll take your screen and your camera and create a single feed, right? So I just click on Create Video. It starts recording. It does some software adjustment. And all of a sudden, it spits out a video like the one you see here, where on one side, it's got you talking, and then you've got a web page. So what web page do you pull up? That listing.
Yeah. And remember, comfort of your own home. You're shooting this video.
So it's all about the formats here. It's all about the engaging format. People right now on Facebook are not used to seeing something like this talking about a listing, right? So this is where it's all about the format. So you can go through, you talk about the listing, right? You're pulling up your web page and you've got the photos from your website, and you can scroll through the photos, talking about the highlight features of the home. Using this tool, you can zoom in on just your screen, or you can expand the video. Ultimately, you're creating this really easy video that you can use in your marketing, and you just share that just like you would any other videos that we've talked about, right? So here's what's really neat about
that. That is the ultimate lazy listing tour.
That is, but the key, here's the essential piece, is that we're using content. We're using the message to be able to go find the audience. We're not telling Facebook, oh, I want just these people who are interested in this. Yes, through some of that interest-based targeting using Zillow and using the general
But
area.
really, Facebook is smarter than we are, and so they're going to put it in front of people who want to see that.
Well, here's what happens with these videos, is that Facebook keeps track of all these little signals, right? So it's looking at the content, and it's looking at hover time. It's looking at of your friends who has liked this type of content. It's looking at likes, comments, shares. It's looking at if it's a video, view time. And so it is doing a real-time prediction using the machine learning algorithm, right? So it's all machine learning. And it's creating a real-time prediction on whether you're going to like what you see in your news feed, and it's doing that for the content that's not an advertisement as well as the content that is an advertisement. We call that, the vernacular there is a sponsored story. So if it's not an advertisement, it's called a story. If it is an advertisement, it's called a sponsored story. But an effective sponsored story is no different than what an effective story would be. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. And what you're starting to show here is that we're no longer paying for marketing that doesn't work. What we're doing is we're creating these systems and these marketing campaigns to really replicate all of our leads and to save a ton of time.
Well, you know, here's what happens is because you're going out to Facebook and you're building an audience, there's a few byproducts to this. So if all you did was this was the first step for us. So I started going through, guys. And it's not like like I said, I didn't have this whole blueprint figured out. We were marketing listings because that was our fiduciary responsibility to our sellers, right? Quite frankly, that's why we did this. So here's what happened. We're marketing listings, and all of a sudden, guess what happens? We start getting phone calls, or I should say the phone calls that we're getting or the emails that we're getting, or when we bump into people, you know what they say? What did they say?
Well, they say, Maya, you're crushing it. I see you everywhere. You must be so busy.
Right? So all of a sudden, this powerful online presence is being created because people see us in action. Now, they don't just see us in action of like, oh, you're on Facebook. No, 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 no. They see you doing a very powerful action, which is to market real estate. And so that market real estate activity is the proof to somebody that, oh, you are a recognized professional. You're somebody who sells real estate. I know you to see real estate because the proof is what I've seen on Facebook, right? And so this activity alone of marketing real estate is very, very powerful. I also like to build a secondary audience, which is people who visit our website. And so I use listing carousel ads to do this. You might have seen something like this. The goal here is to create a Facebook ad, and it's for the same listings or for the same real estate that you would have created for the videos. But in this case, you're just changing the format up a little bit. So I'm now using photos and then taking to a landing page on our website where there's more information about it. And what that does is Facebook keeps track. Not only people who are watching videos, but people who are visiting our website. So I can go back to Facebook, and you're going to see in the next campaign how critical this is. By the time we get to the next campaign, all of a sudden you're going to see how important it is to have this audience of people who are watching videos and people who visited your website, because that's when we start building trust.
Right.
Inherently, this does begin some trust in your competence because they see you marketing real estate, right? So they start to see you marketing real estate so that anybody in your sphere of influence, anybody who's in the areas that you serve, they know you to be a player. This is what's interesting about a tool like Facebook and really the internet, is that it's leveled the playing field for you, me, and everybody else, is that we can look just like the 800-pound gorilla in your marketplace online if we use strategies like this.
In other words, we now have the opportunity to look like top producing real estate professionals without spending gobs of money marketing ourselves like that. We can use these tools to look identical, if not better, by the way,
especially if they're not doing this stuff,
than those top producing agents.
Right, because the consumer goes online. Your clients, your database, your sphere of influence, people that have worked with you in your past, people who are in your word of mouth influence, they at some point are going to go, if they're going to work with you, they're going to go online. And the question is, do you have a powerful online presence and you look like a top producing individual, or do you look like, you know, you're just getting started out, you haven't sold any real estate? So that's why these strategies are so important. And this particular campaign, the key here is I see a lot of people marketing real estate. And one of the unfortunate things that takes place is we don't spend enough time in the message. We don't spend enough time working in the message, i.e. the photos, i.e. the text above the ad, i.e. the headline, i.e. the call to action. We don't spend enough time to make sure that this is something good that somebody who is thinking of buying or selling a home in the future would want to see. Now you might say, well, why would they want to see it? It's the reason why they go to the home search sites, folks. They want to look at photos and videos of real estate and get information about it. So we can use the same strategies that those big brands use as a solo agent.
What I love about this, Chris, is I no longer have to go spend tons of money buying my leads back from some online portal. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm taking I'm taking back control of my business.
Right? You don't have to feel like you're being like extortion, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like these big brands, you have to have a presence there. You're using their same strategy. What are they doing? They're taking our information that we've gotten, right? Our photos, our data, and they're creating an audience of people coming to those search sites.
Yeah.
This is how you create your own audience, folks, is you take that same information that you've created in the first place and you market and put it out there. And I'm not talking about spending gazillions of dollars. We're talking about dollars a day, right? Dollars a day to do this. And here's what happens over time. You'll increase the amount of dollars per day because you're gonna be like, this is working. It takes time. You're not going to see it happen in one day. Just like anything else that is of value, it's going to take more than a day or maybe even more than a week to implement in terms of being able to see the results. I mean, you can implement it, guys, you can implement this in an afternoon. You can do one of those lazy listing tour videos in an afternoon, but in order for you to see the result, it might take a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it takes consistency over time with a tool like advertising, with a tool like Facebook ads, for us to start seeing that consistent, steady source of leads, being able to replicate those leads on command. It takes a little bit of time to be able to fill that pipeline. So here is an example. This advertisement is marketing that listing, and my whole goal is to get them to the website.
Yes.
I'm sharing photos. You can see.
And this is building in the audience still.
This is still building the audience, right? And so I'm building the audience. Let's see, where am I? Here. And I'm not spending tons of money, right? So over the course of this campaign, I spent $33 over the course of this campaign.
That's a month.
Yeah, that's $1 a day.
$1 a day.
$1 a day. I love this $1 a day aspect to it because.
Now, Chris, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. A question that people will say.
Well, I see a question from Tamara right now. What about new agents that haven't gotten any listings yet?
So the easy solution, if you don't have any listings, there's really two of them, right, Gary?
Yeah. So number one is you can go to your broker and say, broker, I need some listings to market. I don't have any myself, but I want to market some of your listings. Which ones can I market? So that's number one. And number two is if you don't have any active listings right now, but you have sold some homes, well, Chris, we could do just sold campaigns.
Recently sold.
Yeah.
Recently sold. Recent is a relative number.
Oh, when I say just sold, I'm like, I just sold this 18 months ago.
Right. Because here's the thing, it's not about when you do like a recently sold or I sold this just sold campaign, the goal there is to build that presence, When we used to do it with postcards back in the day, we were trying to build that presence, that identity. We were trying to build that presence in an offline world. Well, we want to take that same structure of marketing real estate, whether it's active listing, whether it's a sold listing, and use it to build a powerful online presence using a tool like Facebook. A third option I just thought of, Gary, is maybe work with another agent in the office who has listings hold their home open.
Somebody else just said that, and they said, talk to other agents about marketing their homes.
Right, you can use you can combine this with like an open house strategy, right? Mm-hmm. So you get the double effect of it. The key here is we're using real estate, whether it be video, whether it be a lazing listing tour, whether it be photos and driving people to the website. We're using real estate to build an audience. So we're not relying on some rudimentary, really outdated form of using demographic and geographic targeting. Right. So Facebook is
and we're also not relying on spending like hundreds of dollars per lead to a third-party portal.
So Facebook has a vested interest in showing people both stories and sponsored stories or advertisements that they want to see. It is valuable when it is something that they want to see, right? I always make the analogy because people oftentimes think, well, no one wants to see advertising, and that's simply not true. If you had 3 cups of coffee and you were driving down the highway and you had 3 cups of coffee about 2 hours ago, that billboard that says
clean restrooms,
next exit, you are like,
that's the right message.
That advertisement had a tremendous amount of value, and your bladder thanks you for that advertising on that billboard. So whenever it is a message that lines up with the individual's preference, which is what that algorithm is designed to do. It's designed to take a piece of content and say, who on Facebook wants to see this?
Yeah.
Now we have a huge advantage over something as basic as age and zip code targeting, right? Now we've got something where if we take time to produce the right messages, right? And I'm giving you 5 campaigns with these messages in them. If we take the time to do the right message, Facebook is going to show it to the people who want to see it. Because the person who's thinking of buying or selling a home, guess what? they value this and they
Yeah.
want to see it. It's why they go to home search sites. Now we're just feeding it to them so that we can build the audience. Now we're not done.
Hold on. No, those first 3 campaigns were building the audience.
Right.
What now?
Now we transition. Remember I talked about in the Facebook blueprint, I talked about going from audience building to trust building.
Yes.
Right. So the next phase, what we want to do is start building trust.
Okay.
And there is no more effective way for you to build trust than for you to share your expertise.
Absolutely.
Right? Like share your expertise with people. Now,
Chris, what are we experts on?
we are experts in real estate. I hope you're an expert in real estate.
Absolutely.
And if you're not, become one really quickly.
Well,
right?
let's talk about one that I love. Okay. So
This is an easy one. This is a minute 27-second video.
a minute and 27 seconds. I mean, here's the thing is you are an expert in your real estate neighborhoods, in how the market is, in what's going on with buyers and sellers. So what we need to do is we need to start sharing that expertise. All you need to do is get a tripod, use your phone, and shoot a minute to 2-minute video. This one here is we talk about the market is changing. So what I did is I went on this video and I said, hey, by the way, you may have heard that the market is shifting. So let's talk about that. And then if you're looking to buy a house, what does that mean to you? If you're looking to sell a house, what does that mean to you? And then you produce an offer of help, specific offers. If you are interested in finding out exactly what this means to you in your situation, all you need to do is message me.
The whole point behind doing this type of video and this type of ad is to do this. You want someone to experience your expertise, what it's like to work with you without working with you yet, right?
Yeah, because when else are they going to understand what an expert you are? Is only when they've already hired you. Well, we don't have time for that. We need to build trust before they come into the office.
So I love video, and I love videos where we're sharing our expertise because it gives people a chance to know us, to like us, and to trust us. And if they've worked with us in the past, it's a reminder that they know, like, and trust us. If they've recently been referred to us, it's a validation that they can know, like, and trust us. Now, if they're in our audience, this is the only way that we're going to be able to begin that process because they've been seeing videos of us doing real estate. Maybe they've seen some lazy listing tours. Now they're getting to hear from you, your expertise. Now they're getting to hear the difference between working with you versus working with somebody else.
Yep.
Right? And the only difference is you are willing to share your expertise in this format. And so here's what happens. Here's what happens when you take a video like this and say, Facebook, I want you to show this video to the people who are in the audience that we've been building.
And for us, that's over 20,000 people.
Right? So you can have a video like this where you're reaching 893 people. There are 723 people watching the video, 85 people clicking on it to get more information, right? This is the type of result that you can get. And by the way,
without breaking the bank.
$2.93.
$2.93 to get a message in front of people who have already raised their hands saying, I'd like to hear more from you.
Because they've been looking at the real estate that you've been sharing. They've been seeing it on your lazy listing tours. Now they're getting your expertise and advice. And so here's what happens. They have a here's the crazy thing, because of this process, and I didn't design it, by the way, it just happened, right? So I keep talking about this blueprint like I was a genius. And by the way, I was like an army cook. So, there was no genius involved with it. It was all trial and error. But here's what happened. The people who were watching our videos of our real estate, the people who were looking at our lazy listing tours, they have a predisposition to like this video because they've been set up to like it because they have familiarity. So Facebook looks, well, these people have been engaging you already. Then you run an ad for sharing your expertise. And now a lot more, all of a sudden, a lot more people you're building trust with. And it's in a format that the algorithm likes. Because the people are like, yeah, I'm familiar with this. They're going to watch more video because they've seen you before. Now, what's he talking about? I saw him walking around that house. Now what are you talking about, right?
Yeah. So we are building so much trust with these people that we're really now starting to build a really powerful online presence.
So time out, guys. Is this making sense? Does this make sense where you're creating an audience using something that they would be interested in, i.e. real estate. And we're using videos, we're using photos, we're using what they would want to see so that we can identify who is in the market to buy or sell real estate in the future, right? And then now we're taking the time to build trust with them. Guys, you know, this is a people business. You know they must know, like, and trust you. National Association of Realtors, every year they do a profile of home buyers and sellers, and they ask home buyers and sellers, hey, what's the number one deciding factor in choosing a real estate professional? It all comes down to trust. Yeah. Right? It all comes down to trust. I trust this individual. And so this is the way to build trust. This is the way. And by the way, in addition to marketing to the people that we're building trust with, we take Gary's database.
Oh, this is huge. You can take your database. And before you tell me you don't have a database, you do. They're right here on your phone.
So you can take the list of contacts in your phone, upload them to Facebook, and now they start seeing this, right?
Let's show everybody how they can do that.
So all you have to do is you go in and you go create an audience, and it's the same place, whether you're creating a video audience or whether you're going to upload your database. You go to the custom audience tool, you click on customer file, you upload it, or you go to the engagement and you select the video view audiences. But this is how you create these audiences. This is also where you would say Facebook, create an audience of people who've been visiting my website, right? So this now all of a sudden, now I just want to make sure, is that tracking with people before I move on?
A lot of people are saying, yes, this absolutely makes sense.
Okay.
And by the way, like I said, and like Chris said, you're now competing with that online presence against the top producing agents who have been in the business forever, because you are building an audience and you're building trust. Now what's next?
So if all you did was the first 4 campaigns, here's what I would speculate would happen for you, because this is what happened for us. If you do these first 4 campaigns and you do them consistently, here's what, in about 45 days, you're going to notice a change. In about 45 days, because, you know, the real estate cycle is about a 90-day cycle. Mm-hmm. You might have heard this, where the activities you do today are really going to be reflected in about 90 days. Okay. So if you do prospecting, yes, you might catch a few opportunities now, but really you're prospecting for in about 90 days from now. So when you run a campaign and you run the first 4 campaigns before you get to the 5th one, if all you did was the first 4 and you did it for 45 days, here's what you're going to find. People are going to start coming to you and they're going to be like, Gary, this is what they did for us. Gary and our partner, Jonathan, hey, you're blowing up. You're all over the place. By the way, I've been meaning to talk to you. By the way, my brother's been thinking about selling his house. By the way, right? So all of a sudden in 45 days, the buzz starts happening, right?
Well, and here's what happens, Chris. Ultimately, we start going from me worrying about getting my next client, the feast and famine fears that we have in real estate, the ebbs and the flows and unpredictability. We go from that to getting clients on demand.
So what happens after 45 days, you'll feel it, because people are going to come up to you. If you go on an appointment, right, or somebody who calls you, you know what they're going to say? If you ask them, hey, so how'd you hear about what I was doing? And they're going to say, I've seen all your stuff online. They're going to tell you, and you're going to be like, oh, crap, this is working.
It's working.
Here's the thing. You can go to that full 90 days. And we're talking about spending dollars a day, right? So it's not like you're breaking the bank at this point. Dollars a day. You get to 90 days. Now, all of a sudden, you see that you have now a system for replicating leads. You have a pipeline of being able to fill these folks, right? Because now you've got this powerful online presence, right? You are constantly marketing, you're providing value. People are seeing the expertise that you have. You are being positioned like you are a recognized professional at this point, because they are seeing it on Facebook constantly. They can't go on to Facebook at some point in time without being touched by the value that you represent.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Especially if they're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if they're in your contacts and you've uploaded them. So this, you talk about building word of mouth. This is like word of mouth on super steroids, right?
Well, Chris, how many people do I have in my database?
Like 465 or something like that.
So maybe 500 people. How many people do we have in this brand new database on Facebook? 20,000.
Yes. So now now you have this huge word of mouth base to start working with. And we're just marketing to this base. We're marketing to this base. And now you start to see the results from it. But I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't get into this 5th campaign.
Yes, and this is so critical because of this statistic. So Chris is about to share with you Facebook lead ads. And why this is so important is that over 80% of Facebook traffic happens where? Right here on the phone or on an iPad or some mobile device.
So a lot of you guys probably have, maybe some of you guys, I should say, have maybe tried creating an ad where you offered something of value, maybe like a market report, or maybe a valuation on their home, or maybe like offering a buyer's guide or something like that. And you offered that to just anybody on Facebook, and you probably saw that nothing worked, or if somebody did fill that out, that they weren't a real viable prospect.
Yeah.
Now here's where this is different. So we can take similar offers, but now they've seen our ads, they've seen our expertise. So now they trust us to know that he's a real person, he's got expertise, right? I place now a premium on your expertise.
Yes.
So when I see this advertisement, I know I can trust you to give my contact information to get this information, and you're not going to abuse it because you're an expert, you're a professional, right? And so we can take an ad like this. Now, here's the key about Facebook ads and Facebook lead ads in particular, is this looks more or less the same like any other Facebook ad, but here's where the difference is. So in Facebook, you can create an ad that is a specific ad type. It's called a lead ad. All right.
Write that down. It's lead ad.
What happens within Facebook, because 80% of the traffic is happening on a mobile device, right? It's happening on a mobile device. If someone clicks on an ad in Facebook and it doesn't stay in Facebook, meaning they have to go to your website, it takes on average 6 to 8 seconds to load. So many people are just never seeing it. The other thing is, if you create an ad like this and you're offering, let's say in this case, we're offering a list of homes for sale over $1 million, normally they would have to go to a web page to fill this information out.
And they're typing with their thumbs.
Right. So with a lead ad, it goes from the advertisement to a lead form that's all inside Facebook. It's what Facebook would call an instant experience, because it goes from ad to form instantly. It's preloaded. So it's not like
auto-populates your contact
and
information.
then it auto-populates the contact information. So now it is significantly easier. There's less friction for me to complete the form. By the way, that's one of the reasons why people don't fill stuff out. It's inconvenient. They're trying to type, oh my goodness, and they're trying to draw, like they're in the grocery store. And so what happens is, if we just use the right format for the job at hand, right? So we got these 20,000 people that we want to start marketing to. We need to use the right tool for the job. In this case, we want to use lead ads because this is the right tool for doing that contact information exchange, right? It is the preferred tool. So that's where maybe you've tried making offers on Facebook, but it wasn't the right format. We didn't have the right messages. We weren't using the right formats for these messages. But within Facebook lead ads, it goes from ad to the form that auto-populates and to a thank you page, all inside Facebook. Never has to leave Facebook, right? It's all in Facebook.
Now, where does this contact information go, Chris?
Well, you can choose where you want it to go. I mean, it stays in Facebook, so you can download that in Facebook. We have a little integration with Zapier, so it goes right into our CRM, which is very convenient, so that we can.
What I've seen, you even have it set up to where it will text me.
Yeah, so I have it set up just where it'll send you a text message, and then it'll also put that into our CRM, so that we've got like one place to be able to handle all. Plus, we want to get those notifications, right? You get a lead, you're like, oh, I got to fill this out. So there's a key concept that you want to do with these ads, and you want to use a remarketing strategy. Really, if you look at what we're doing through this entire blueprint, is that it is a remarketing strategy.
Yes.
And here's what remarketing is. It's just showing specific messages to people, to an audience that have already seen a part or a message from you before. They've already engaged in your marketing. So, when we did those expert videos, those 1-minute expert videos, and targeting to people, and we were showing that to people who watched videos, that was retargeting.
Got it.
We want to do that same thing with these lead ads, because it may not be convenient at the time that they saw it. And you can go back and create a campaign of people who started your lead ad but didn't complete it, right? So this retargeting strategy is very important. Now, those were the 5 campaigns, but I would, here's something that's really important, because there are requirements to these ads that we're creating, okay? And there's 4 of them.
Yeah,
and
you touched on these a little bit. Let's go a little more in depth.
I touched on a lot of them, but the first thing is we got to work with the algorithm, right? We got to show information. We got to show content. We got to show stories. We got to show the sponsored stories of things that people are going to want to see based on what they're interested in. So we're using those videos. We're using our expertise to be able to work with the algorithm to be able to identify who's going to have a preference and predisposition to want to see more information from us. We want to use custom audiences.
Which is exactly what you were doing there.
We're building a custom audience.
Yeah.
Building a custom audience and sharing it. We need to design messages for different formats. That's why there's all that variation with videos and photos and sharing your expertise. You don't just do a photo and a photo and a photo over and over again, or a link to a post or a link to a post. No, you got to change up those formats, and we must always use the right format for the job at hand. For example, if we're trying to generate a lead, we're using lead ads. If we're trying to build an audience, we're going to use the lowest cost tools to do that, which are things like videos, and using those short form videos to build those audiences.
Now, Chris, all of this is all within your Facebook ads blueprint.
So here's the thing. Those 5 simple steps implement this more. It looks complicated, but it's not. We boiled it down to 5 campaigns for you guys to run, and you are implementing this very same blueprint.
Exactly.
Now, some of you guys might be saying, do you need help? I need help with this blueprint. I want some help. And so I wanted to make a special offer for you guys. We have a program, our Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program, that is designed to help you implement that blueprint so that you can start generating leads and replicating leads on Facebook on command, while building a really powerful online presence, while building and setting up your expertise so that you're a recognized professional. So we have this course, and I've got a special offer because I want to make an invitation where you're going to pay a fraction of the normal cost to be able to access this program. Now, a couple of points about this. Our Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program is going to help you implement that blueprint by giving you everything you need to use the Facebook ad platform. There's advertising templates, there's checklists, there's a whole bunch of example campaigns and tutorials and demonstration videos, everything from a just listed campaign to how to create those lead generation ads, even how to do video ads and messenger ads. I mean, so many of our clients have been using Facebook to be able to produce tremendous results where it is a steady and consistent and predictable source of leads and clients when you start using it the way it was meant to be used, right? And so here's the thing. I told you I have a special invitation and a special offer. You can get our Facebook course for free when you join our marketing club. That's right. You can get this course, $597 value, for free when you join our marketing club. Gary, we created the marketing club to free real estate professionals from the feast or famine lifestyle and the extortion from big brands with simple marketing tools and technologies that, to be honest with you, it makes real estate fun. The marketing club is designed to make you that recognized professional. Okay. Right. So
Chris, instead of me going out there and just feeling like a taxi driver taking care of my
clients. Have you guys
clients,
ever felt like a taxi driver opening doors?
Yeah.
So instead of feeling that, you're a recognized professional, right?
Instead of me sitting there being worried about getting my next client,
you can get clients on command, on demand, right? So a recognized professional is not worried about where's my next client coming from, because they have the strategies, they've got the tools, they have the plan to be able to create clients on command as they need them.
Yeah, and Chris, throughout my career, I have gone through feast and famine, ups and downs in my business, unpredictable income.
Right, so instead of a feast or famine lifestyle, guys, this is where you have consistent, predictable income. And hopefully you've been able to see that with this Facebook marketing and using a strategy like this to where you are no longer going up and down because the ads are like little salespeople doing the work for you day in, day out, where you can have that consistent, predictable income because you have a consistent, predictable source of business.
Yeah, and Chris, not only that, but how much time and energy and money do I feel like I'm wasting paying for things and systems that just simply don't work?
Or stuff that you feel like you have to pay for, right?
That's true.
So instead of paying for stuff that doesn't work, you've got systems to replicate leads and save you time. That's what it's like. That's what it feels like. And that's what it's like to be a recognized professional. So instead of feeling like that taxi driver, instead of feeling like you're just always running around harried, you are that recognized professional who has that confidence of being able to have that peace of mind coming from being able to create those customers, not running around like crazy, and being able to ultimately, instead of working really hard and not feeling appreciated, you get recognized for your great service.
Yeah, and you stop having this conversation. Will you discount your commission?
I think that's like the ultimate. That's like the ultimate punch in the face.
Chris,
right?
here's the thing. Do you ever walk into a doctor's office and say, hey, I'd like a 25% discount?
People do that mostly all the
They
time.
do that to us.
Here's the thing. No one goes to their doctor and says, you know what, can you knock off 25% off that surgery? I mean, come on. I was talking to the guy down the street, and
he'll do it for free.
He said he would do it for 30% off, 1%, right? So,
No.
I mean, they do that in real estate all the time. And here's the thing. It's because they don't place a premium on our expertise.
And it's because we're not taking the steps necessary to be that recognized professional.
Right. And so that's what the marketing club is designed to do. Now, when you are a recognized professional, here's what it feels like. I've got a little story from Teresa, one of our marketing club members. She says, I want to say a huge thank you to the Paperless agent team. I want to say thank you to Gary, Jordan, and Chris, and the whole team behind the scenes. Now, get this, guys. She says that we actually tripled our income in 2017 over 2016. They sold over $9 million, all because they followed our plan, right?
Yep.
Tripled their income to $9 million just by following the plan. They started doing open houses, and they followed the plan that we gave them, and they built up their client contacts. And they'd been with another office for 13 years and never had this level of material. Here's what she says. She says, the saying goes, plan your work your plan. Paperless agent gives you the plan. You just need to work it. And here's the plan, guys. This is our 5-step career acceleration plan.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to break this down for you, because this is what the marketing club is designed to produce. You're going to go through these 5 different steps as a marketing club member to create this transformation into becoming that recognized professional.
Yeah.
Right. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have this powerful online presence. By the way, I hope you guys can see from some of the strategies that we shared with you just using Facebook, how you can build that powerful online presence. Well, our marketing club is designed to be able to build that to where you look just like that 800-pound gorilla in your marketplace. When prospects, when customers, when they go online, you're going to look no different than that top producing agent, right? One of our clients, Mary Anglin, went through this experience where the first thing that she worked with us on is building that powerful online presence. And immediately, all of a sudden, people would reach out to her and say, gosh, you look amazing online. I see you online. You look amazing online. You're all over online. And that's what we want to do. The next step is to market to your base.
Oh, man, this is so incredibly important, is that marketing to your sphere of influence, the people who already know, like, and trust you.
It's your sphere of influence. It's through the audiences that you're building.
Yep.
But here's the thing. You market to your base so you never lose a client to the competition ever again.
Ever.
Right?
And, Chris, actually, one of our marketing club clients, Hillary Gaynor, she was struggling to keep consistent income coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we had her do is we had her start using our content and doing this consistently through using our monthly value program. And what happened, Chris, is all of a sudden she started having her clients contacting her.
Right.
She wasn't having to reach out to them. They were contacting her, and she very quickly started increasing her business. In fact, within 3 months, her business went from $5 million to $13 million.
So we're also, by the way, guys, we provide you, our marketing club provides you all the tools and resources that you need to be able to implement each step in this career acceleration plan. So there's for example, we provide you with an SEO-friendly website so that you can look good online. This is the beginning of building that powerful online presence. We post blogs there automatically for you. You can create property landing pages. You can do lead generation, but this is the first step in that plan of building that powerful online presence. To market to your base, we also provide you guys with a new marketing campaign every single month. You get blog posts, you get marketing emails, you get social media posts, and even marketing and ad templates so that you can market to your base consistently every single time. Now, as you progress in your career, one of the things that you want to make sure you're also doing is acing every listing appointment and having a better set of promises to make.
Yeah.
Right? Like we have a client, John Diaz.
John Diaz has done this tremendously. In fact, John was in a place to where he was ready to quit real estate because he was going on listing appointments, maybe. And if he was competing with a ton of other agents and having to discount his commission every time. Well, once he started implementing our listing presentation in our scripts and dialogues that we taught him, what happened is very quickly, he was building enough trust with these people to where they weren't interviewing anybody else. And instead of having to discount his commission, he was charging a premium of 6, 7, sometimes 9% commission because he was so much in demand by these clients.
Then the next piece to this is being able to scale and replicate leads on demand. By the way, like this Facebook strategies that we've been giving you today is one of the ways in which to do that, which is why we're giving the course away as a gift when you join the marketing club, because we want you to have the ability to be able to create clients on command. We want you to be able to have the strategies and the tools and the resources so that you can scale and replicate those leads. Here's the thing. A lot of you are going to want to start here. A lot of you are going to want to jump in to doing the Facebook stuff that I taught you today. But here's the thing, and this is important for you to recognize. If you don't have a powerful online presence first, you're going to be wasting energy, wasting effort, wasting money. Very important to have that powerful online presence. Here's the other thing. If you don't start marketing your base before you do some of the strategies like what we've talked about today, here's what's going to happen. You're missing out on the low-hanging fruit of people who are just waiting to be worked with, waiting for you to work with them. Now, some of the strategies that I shared with you today that's included in our Facebook marketing course, it's going to help you do that. It's going to help you build that online presence, that powerful online presence. It's going to help you market to your base because of sharing our expert videos. And so here's what I know is that over time, as you implement this, you no longer are worried about where your next client is coming in. In fact, you now have something to do. You know what to do to produce the outcome that you want. The last phase of this is where you get to have a career like Gary, where your practice is essentially on autopilot.
But we don't want you to wait 22 years like I had to. We want to put the fuel on your career and accelerate you to where you can have your practice on autopilot. You'll have the freedom to work when you want, from wherever you want, and generate the income that you deserve. And ultimately, that's what this 5-step career acceleration plan helps you do.
So with the Marketing Club, you're going to get an SEO-friendly website. You're going to get new marketing materials every single month. You're going to get access to a training library with hundreds of templates for you to utilize. How much does this cost, you might be asking? You would literally spend hundreds of dollars every month getting all of these individual things from other companies. Marketing materials. I know because I bought them, about $100 a month. Getting a website, another $100 a month. Getting training and templates, at least another $100 a month. But here's the thing, becoming a recognized professional, you can't place a value on that. So how much does it cost? You're not going to spend hundreds of dollars a month. You're going to get a Facebook marketing course when you join the club, and the club is only $67 a month. It's only $67 a month. You can sign up just by clicking on the button that's showing up on the screen for Join Club Now. You can easily cancel, hassle-free, no questions asked. There's no contract. There's no commitment when you join the club.
And there's a big bonus today when you sign up.
When you sign up today, I've got an extra bonus gift. So when you sign up right now, I'm going to give you an extra bonus gift of our Facebook on a $1-a-day implementation plan. Right, so this is going to really show you how to leverage this $1-a-day strategy to boost your presence, to build word of mouth, and position yourself as an expert on Facebook for $1 a day. All right, so this alone is worth joining the marketing club for. I want you to become that recognized professional, but here's the thing: I also want you to be excited about it. And I know Facebook on a $1-a-day implementation plan is something that's going to get you very excited to be able to do that. So you're going to get our marketing club membership. You're going to get our Facebook marketing for real estate, and you're going to get our Facebook on our $1-a-day implementation plan when you join the marketing club. And all you have to do is click on that Join Now button.
Yeah, I'm also going to post this into the chat section so everybody has a simple link to get to. But go do that right now. And to answer a question I just got is, what happens when I join? Well, you're going to receive an email from us immediately. Now, that email may end up in your spam folder. It may end up in your promotions tab in Gmail. Don't worry. Rest assured, it's there, and you're going to get access to this. And we actually have an implementation plan. And on Monday, you're going to have an onboarding system, an onboarding session with Jordan Terry, who is managing this for us. So you're going to get all of that when you sign up. Go do it right now, because here's what's going to happen. We're going to hop into Q&A because we have a lot of questions, Chris.
Let's do this.
All right. So go join the marketing club and keep listening as we answer a lot of these questions. Number one, Chris, Kevin says, does this give you step-by-step directions because I'm a beginner?
So with our Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program, it's really designed to take you, whether you are a beginner, whether you're a novice or whether you're advanced and you just want to implement the strategies, you go to where you need. If you don't have a Facebook business page, you're going to start there, right? And that's in the Facebook marketing course. If you're just wanting to get familiar with how to use the ad platform, you're going to advance to one of the modules further along, because there's no point in going and watching stuff that's not concerned about. You're going to jump into the modules related to creating ads and being able to implement the blueprint. So it scales because what our goal is for you to be able to implement these Facebook strategies. And so you may already be comfortable using Facebook ads, but you were just looking for the strategy to do so, and all you're looking for is the templates and the checklists. Those are in there, right? But if you're brand new and you need a little bit of hand-holding and you want to know, all right, how do I create a business page? That information is in there as well. And it's a self-paced course. You can do it on your own time and what's convenient for you. And remember, this is a bonus gift when you join the marketing club today and start that path to becoming that recognized professional.
Deborah says, so what do I need to do to join the marketing club? Deborah, all you need to do is click on, I actually sent you the link in chat right now, or you can click on the blue button that says join club now. That will take you to the order page. And then Chris says, is there a contract that I need to sign, or can I opt out after a month?
Yeah, you can opt out after a month. I mean, you might just get through this and perhaps you work through all 5 steps of that career acceleration plan as a marketing club member, and you get through that entire Facebook course and you implement the strategy, then yeah, you can cancel at any time. There's no contract, there's no commitment, there's no minimum amount of time that you have to be with us. Now, here's what my hope for you is that you will get in here into the marketing club, and you're going to begin that process of accelerating your career. You're going to start building that powerful online presence. You're going to start marketing to your base. You're going to want to start acing every listing presentation and appointment with a very powerful listing presentation tool, which we provide you with. You're going to want to start to scale and replicate leads more than just on Facebook, but using tools like Google and other advertising platforms. And then you're at some point going to say, you know what, I want other people to be doing this for me. And you're going to want to put your practice on autopilot. That's a journey. To be able to get to the place where Gary is in his career of having your practice on autopilot, that ain't going to happen overnight. Okay, that might take a year to be able to get to where your practice is truly on autopilot. It might take 2 years, but here's what I know. I know the tools that we're providing you with the website and the marketing materials every month and the training library where you can access all the information to be able to accomplish this career acceleration plan. I know that if you're in for 1 month or 5 years, that you're going to continue to get value at it as long as your goal is to become and to remain that recognized professional. Because even when you have your practice on autopilot, that means the real estate practice might be working and a lot of the work is being done either for you or using mechanics like Facebook ads to be able to, put sort of the lead generation side on autopilot. Here's the thing. Now you have a new set of problems, right? Now you have a new set of problems of like, well, what do I want to do to increase market share? What do I want? Do I want to hire somebody? What do I want to do? What kind of flexibility do I want to have? Do I want to live part-time somewhere? A great example, in addition to Gary, one of our clients, Ted Williams, he splits his time between working in the Portland market, which is where he originally is, and also spending about a third of his time in the Cabo San Lucas market, right?
And not a bad gig
That's his retirement strategy, but he's got that flexibility because his practice is on autopilot. Does that make sense? Because he's using these strategies. He's built up this online presence to whether he's in Cabo or he's in Portland, he's got this powerful online presence in both places, constantly marketing to his base. He's got the listing presentation down cold. He's able to scale and replicate those leads. And that's where you get choices, my friend. That's where you get to have the choices of where you're going. That's freedom, right? That's the promise that you have in the promise that we strive for in real estate. But gosh, only so few of us have a path and a plan to get there. Like Facebook ad, within these 5 steps, Facebook fits in that 4th part. Right? Yep. That is the part of where you scale and replicate leads. And here's what I know about you guys. You're anxious to get there, and we all are, because that's the fun part. When you have a surplus of leads and you have a surplus of clients, that feels good.
I have to share a quick story, Chris, is that we really started refining and perfecting this entire process about 9 months ago and really implemented it. And here's what happened. Within 6 months, You want to talk about scaling and replicating leads on demand, Chris? Within 6 months, we added an additional $10.5 million of production to our business just through what we were doing. And that's power.
Well, that is because, I mean, and how much work, let me ask you, Gary, to be able to add $10.5 million in production, was it a lot of work to do?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. And I'll be honest, I do the marketing. I mean, we're talking about sending emails out. We're talking about you creating ads and doing stuff that's fun, like making short videos. You know, maybe the first time you're a little nervous, but then you're like, hey, if I can walk around with my phone shooting a video, that's pretty fun. I mean, it gets to make real estate fun because I know for a lot of you guys, I mean, how many of you guys have been selling real estate? I'm curious, just say have you been selling real estate for more than 10 years? Say, yes, I've been selling real estate for more than 10 years. You know that after you've been selling real estate for 10 years, it's not as fun, as exciting as it used to be, right? And part of it being,
it's a grind.
It becomes like anything else, it becomes a grind. So how do you prevent that grind from getting us down, feeling a sense of resignation, becoming that, accepting things like, will you discount your commission, right? So it becomes a grind when you know that's what you're dealing with, when people don't value your expertise, when they don't place that premium on the expertise and the professionalism that you have because they're not seeing you as that recognized professional. Here's the thing, using tools like what I've shown you today not only helps you achieve that outcome, it makes the process fun. I know that might sound crazy, but when we do stuff like Facebook ads, when we do things like short videos, it's a lot more interesting than picking up the phone and cold calling a bunch of people that we don't know.
Chris, I'm going to be honest.
What's that?
I actually have not picked up the phone and cold called in years. In fact, I think it's been about 7 years. Why? Because we follow this process in our own practice, and we're just like you. We're out there. We're building our real estate business. Ours is on autopilot now, which you can get there too if you follow this career acceleration path. But it makes real estate so much fun again. And here's what happens: is that over time you start building an abundance of real estate clients, an overabundance to where then all of a sudden you're like, well, I need to refer some of this business to somebody else, or you can hire buyer's agents to work with you to take care of all of those buyers. And that's when like the freedom comes back into your life. The ability to spend more time with your kids if you want to spend more time with your spouse if you have one, and if you want to, but to travel. I mean, just imagine that. I get to travel as much or as little as I want because our business is on autopilot and we have people doing a lot of this stuff for us. So, if you want that freedom, if you want to have that powerful online business, if you want to be able to market and never lose a prospect to somebody else ever again, if you want to ace your listing appointment and nail it and walk out with every listing that you want and be able to scale and replicate and have leads on demand, then go join this career acceleration path, and you're going to love it. It's over there for you now. It says join club now. And Chris, we're going to get to some more questions.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's see here. Next question is, Damien said, what if I already have my own website and domain?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If you have your own website and domain, that's great because the marketing website that we provide, it's just one more way for people to find you online. Part of building that powerful online presence is not having just one Google search result when somebody searches for you. And this is an important point I want to make for you guys. It is inevitable today that somebody who's going to work with you, whether they know you, whether they don't know you, whether they've worked with you in the past, whether they've been referred to you by somebody that they trust, they will inevitably go to Google and search you out, right? They're inevitably going to go to Facebook and search you out, right? Here's the thing. They are going to look to our online presence to make a determination on what level of knowing, liking, and trusting they're going to have for us. And here's what happens all too often these days, because we're not making the powerful online presence a priority, is I'm not going to say they're disappointed, but instead of having your online presence and what they see build confidence in you, build confidence in your professionalism, make you be distinguished and be that recognized professional, it actually causes them a reason to say, I wonder if they're really selling that much real estate. I wonder if they are doing this part-time, or maybe I should just work with my Aunt Susie. And I know she hasn't sold anything but dust at an open house in the last 20 years. At least I know her, right? Like, that's the thing. We don't want that to happen. So when someone goes to Google and searches you, it's good to have more than one website that you control. And here's the thing. We maintain it for you by putting blog posts on there automatically every single month so that you don't look like, maybe you're part-time. Unfortunately, here's what happens. If you guys have a blog, for example, on your website, if you haven't posted on there in 6 months, somebody goes there to check you out and they think to themselves, I wonder if Gary went out of business. Like, that's just, if you have a Facebook page and there's like nothing going on there in the last year, they're going to wonder, I wonder if you like, how much real estate do you really sell? Is this a hobby for you, or is this something that you're really serious about? All as part of their determination in being able to make that distinction for themselves. Are you a recognized professional, or are you somebody who's not really that serious about it? And so I would say all you have to do is set it up. And if you have your own website, it's just going to complement it and make it easier for people to find you online.
Yep. Real quick, Chris, Vicky was saying the join club now does not forward. Let me check that out. It seems to be working for me. So, Vicky, I'm going to make sure I get you that direct link. Yeah. So, just sent you the link, Vicky. Go check the chat section. You should be set. Okay. Next question. I've got a couple of questions from Chris, Louie, and also Susan. They were both asking the same thing. Do I need a business Facebook page instead of my personal page to be able to do this?
Yes.
Now, I do want to preface that by saying if you're at that point and you're like, I don't have a business page, or I've neglected it, or whatever, it doesn't matter, because here's the thing. In the Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program that you're getting when you sign up today, Chris takes you step by step at whatever level you're at. If you're already advanced, guess what? You get to jump in there and start learning more about pixels and all these other things. If you're brand new, he's going to show you how to set up your business page appropriately.
Here's the thing. There's not as much necessity now as there used to be to create a business page and maintain it with a lot of content. Back in the old days, like 2 years ago, the strategy of, hey, you should be posting a couple of times a week. And then, 3 or 4 years ago, people would, they would say post multiple times a day. That's an outdated, obsolete strategy. You could post there a couple times a month, and that's fine. The goal is to use the advertising platform. In order to use the advertising platform, you must have a business page. So that's the requirement for being able to access and utilize the ad platform, is to have a business page. Now, we're going to walk you through what are the bare necessities on there. Well, you want to have a good profile picture, you want to have a good cover image, and maybe post on there from time to time, but you're really using it for the advertising platform. By the way, these strategies work together. So if you're doing the ads that we're creating, like we're creating those 30-second listing ads, or you're doing those lazy listing tours, or you're sharing your expertise, those can become posts on your page as well, right? Yep. So those are going to be plenty sufficient. Now we're just going to be boosting those posts to the appropriate audiences that we've been creating using that custom audience tool. In fact, you don't even have to get into the advertising platform as long as you build those audiences using the custom audience tool, and then you can just start boosting those posts without even having to go into the advertising platform once the audiences are created. The key is to create those audiences. In order to use those tools, you need the business page.
Yeah. All right, Mike says, does this program work for Puerto Rico? Sí, Mike, es perfecto para ti. So go sign up right now. And by the way, if you're in Canada.
I'm going to say, this is a strategy that works with the algorithm. Like if we're talking about Facebook, these are strategies that work for the algorithm. The algorithm is the same the world over. All right, there might be different criteria that we have in using some of the advertising tools, but when you're working with the algorithm, you're working with Facebook, and so it is universal in its application on where you can implement it. By the way, it doesn't matter what language you speak, doesn't matter which country you're in. This idea of using real estate to build an audience, and then using your expertise to build trust. That doesn't matter what country you're in, right? That matters. That's a fundamental principle of getting people to know, like, and trust us with a group of people who already have a predisposition to like us using a strategy, using this blueprint.
Okay. Tina says, so do I post ads through your service or on Facebook?
On Facebook. We don't offer a Facebook posting service. The Facebook Marketing for Real Estate is simply an implementation and training program to show you how to implement that blueprint.
Awesome. Susan said, I'm Susan and excited I signed up. Glad you will be able to take me through the steps to set everything up. Absolutely. By the way, we have a private Facebook group for our marketing club members only. And it is a wonderful place to go. And Susan, once you have success in setting things up, you can share that with us and get feedback from us, our team, and from thousands of other like-minded people in that community. It's a wonderful place to post questions, to really almost mastermind, to refine your messages even further. So it's a really, really powerful
I think
thing.
that's an important point, is with anything like what we've been talking about today, there's all these systems that are available to us that if we use them the right way, they will allow us to scale and replicate leads on demand. But here's the thing. There's nuance to it, right? I mean, you can see from the example that I shared today, for me, it was an iterative process. The number one source of inspiration that I have when it comes to creating advertisements or to be able to create strategies is to go to our private Facebook group and ask the questions of, like, hey, what's working for you guys? And even just to read to see what people are sharing. I mean, there's literally thousands of years of collective wisdom that you have access to of these recognized professionals that are in this private Facebook group. That is a benefit of the market, a feature of the marketing club when you join. That is, quite honestly, it's worth the price of admission, but you got to go in there and do it to see it, right? And like I said, or like Gary was saying, there's no contract or commitment when you join our marketing club. So get in there, try it out, see whether it works for you. I know it will.
All right, I've got a lot of people saying, hey, this is me and I just joined. By the way, if you just joined or you're already a member and you're coming back to one of these public trainings, head on over to the chat section and introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm Gary and I'm in Austin and I'm a member of the club. So head on over there and do that as we get to the next question. Elizabeth says, hey, say I have this for a year, then will the rate change? No. You're grandfathered in or grandmothered in.
That's the thing. $67 a month puts you on that career acceleration path. And here's what my hope is that you'll see value in the marketing materials that we provide, that you'll see value in the additional training that we provide to be able to continue allowed to scale and replicate and really help you get to that ultimate goal of putting your practice on autopilot. And so, it's more than just a club, right? This is a way this is like a lifestyle, right? This is a way of being in real estate, because you can live on that one side of the equation where you're dealing with the will you it's like the ultimate punch in the face. Will you discount your commission? Here's the thing. You
know what they're saying to you? I don't value you.
I don't value your expertise. I don't care how much you are willing. I don't care how much you care about me.
Yeah.
That is the issue, is that you guys, I know if you're here, you likely do a lot to take care of your customers and provide them with a great experience. I mean, go to that chat feature. Do you care about the experience that you provide for your customers?
Absolutely.
If so, say aye. Because here's the thing. When you do that and they come back at you and say, will you discount your commission? There is an inherent break in what we provide and their perception on what we provide.
Yeah, it's almost like you get a slap in the face and then your response is, well, clearly I didn't do a good job of communicating this.
Well, a lot of times it just feels like, you know what? That's what it feels like sometimes. Now, here's the thing. Imagine this. Imagine when you're using tools like Facebook, like we've talked about, but you're on that path to accelerating your career. You've got the powerful online presence, and you're marketing to your base. Here's what happens. They see, because you're sharing your expertise with them, they see and can place now a premium, and they can value your expertise, right? They couldn't do that before because the only experience that they had in working with you was that, hey, they called you or they messaged you or they got referred to you, and then you show up to the appointment and bang. There has been no development on and anchoring your expertise by having this powerful online presence. There's been no anchoring in which you're sharing marketing with them every single month to be able to build up their perception and have an understanding of the expertise and value that you provide to your customers. When you get to that point, because you are a recognized professional, you're like that doctor, you're like that lawyer, you're like that professional where the client, the patient in that case, doesn't come to them and say, yo, I know I got that surgery coming up next week. Will you do it for 10% less, 20% less? You don't have that conversation with the doctor. I mean, you're like, you're going to open me up. I mean, take
Chris,
care of me.
You know what happens now to me? Because we implemented all of this and our online presence is really powerful. Now, when I go and knock on the door for a listing appointment, they open the door and I say, hi, I'm Gary. You know what they say?
What?
Oh, we know. We feel like we know you. We feel like we're meeting a celebrity because we've seen all of your videos.
Yeah.
And when you get to that point, here's what happens. I walk in, I'm strutting at that point.
Well, it's a huge confidence booster.
It's a huge confidence booster. I no longer walk into a listing appointment nervous. I walk in and I strut because you know what? I got this.
Well, and here's the thing I love about the Facebook strategies that we were sharing with you guys is that for dollars a day, you don't have to feel like you're begging for business because everybody around you knows that you sell real estate. They're getting exposed to the expertise that you have and developing an appreciation for the value that you represent as that recognized professional. So you can actually walk around with that confidence like Jonathan. Jonathan he actually went to church a couple of weeks ago and people came like at church, right? They're supposed to be there to be like practicing spiritual development, and instead people are kind of like, God, dude, you're blowing up online. He's like, I don't feel comfortable talking about this here, but okay, call me. That's the kind of thing that happens. And I'll tell you what, it just feels different than the other side of the equation is you're like, when do I hit him over the head with the real estate conversation? When you meet somebody and you're like, when do I hit him over the head about the fact that I sell real estate? When you do strategies like what we've been sharing with you for dollars a day, they already know. Right? They already know. They actually see you at the grocery store and you don't know who they are, but they know who you are. Does that make sense? You're standing in line at a grocery store and like, why is that person
why are they staring at me?
Why are they eyeballing me? It's because they've seen you online. They're like, hey, look, it's that person. Is that lady who's in those ads and stuff like that. Like, that's how it feels. Like it's like you're like a Hollywood star. But in all seriousness, it just feels different and it feels a lot better than worried about where that next client's coming from, knowing you're going to have to deal with that. Will you discount your commission conversation? Or that when you say what the price of a home is, right? So you've got a solid, recognized professional. They've got a solid listing presentation and their expertise is valued so that when you share what the market is willing to bear for the price of the home, the seller's not like, yeah, I want to list it for 25% more. I don't care what you have to say. That doesn't happen. When Gary goes in and says, this is what we're going to list this home for, they're like, well, okay.
This reminds me of John Diaz out in California. John is a member of our club, and he like I said, he was ready to quit real estate. And we said, no. Let's make this fun again. He said, well, what do I need to do? We said, you need to do exactly these things, which we just outlined for you during this program. And what did he do? He did it. And now he loves real estate. In fact, Chris, did you know his wife is from Russia?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, so they go back to Russia for 2 months a year. They disappear to Russia for 2 months a year. Why? Because his practice is on autopilot. Because he builds an abundance of business before he leaves. And he walks into those listing appointments. He's a listing boss now. Right. This guy, he just got a $3.5 million listing at a 10% commission.
Wow.
At market rate. So he walked in there and said, your house is like a buyer will pay this. This is what I'm willing to do to market your home. And my fee is 10%. And they said, you got it, John. Signed up.
The only way you do that is when you are a recognized professional. Yep. You're walking in the door and they're looking at you like, help me. I'm going to do whatever you say because you know what you're doing. And I place a premium on the service that you provide. Yep. So Q&A. We got a sidetrack there.
Freddie says, what kind of content is posted to my website every month?
So you're going to post that. Would I suggest?
No. to the website that they get with us. No,
the
we
website.
post it.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about Facebook.
No, I'm talking about
So we
the blog
post-
articles.
So every month, you're going to get a marketing campaign from us. It includes blog posts that we post on your website. We give you social media posts. We give you emails. We give you a newsletter. We give you all this stuff. And it's always on a real estate theme. Every month, the theme is different. Might be about the market. Might be about home design trends. Might be about, top home improvement projects. It might be about how to hire a real estate professional. It might be about a mortgage guide, right? So every month the topic changes, and it's I just wanted to gum out. I'm like slurring on my speech because of that, and it was tasting so good too. Man, I'm not gonna miss that piece. So here's what happens: every month we change the topic. It's always real estate connected, okay? It's always real estate connected, because when you are marketing to your base, when you're marketing to your sphere, when you're marketing to the audience, you want people to see you sharing information about that demonstrates the competence that you have, right? And so you do that by sharing your expertise. You do that by sharing real estate related topics. You also want to do it where either if they are thinking of buying or selling, or they know someone who's thinking of buying or selling, that they would find value in that information that you're sharing. And so we call it a monthly value program, because what you're doing is you're taking something valuable that your audience would like to hear, or that would know somebody who would like to hear that information, and we're sharing it.
Yep.
And we do that every single month. Now, what this does is it works together with your whole Facebook strategy that we have, that we talked about today, to build this, I call it omnipresent marketing. So it builds this sense of you being everywhere all the time, okay? And it's always your expertise that's being shared very generously. They see you on Facebook, they see you're sending emails, they see you in Messenger, they see your social posts, right? So they're always see you in this mode of sharing your expertise or seeing marketing real estate, and they can't help to bump into you, which means that whenever they have a thought about real estate, or whenever they have a conversation with somebody about real estate, you're the person they think of.
Absolutely.
And so when you achieve that level of an online presence, right? When you achieve that powerful online presence through a strategy like omnipresent marketing, you get a lot more word of mouth business. And so it feels like this. All of a sudden, more people are emailing you, messaging you, contacting you. It feels like, man, this seems like it's falling out of the sky. It's not. This is what word of mouth business looks like when you've got that powerful online presence, when you're marketing your base on a consistent basis, and you've got these Facebook strategies showing ads like little salespeople working 24/7 for you. That is when all of a sudden, you don't even have to get to the place where you're doing those lead generation ads. You don't need, many of you will, but you are not going to have to, is my point. Because for most of you, if you were to capture that word of mouth and you were to capture that repeat business, it would be plenty sufficient for you and like a team member if you wanted one, right? Like that's going to be plenty for you to be able to take care of, unless you really are trying to grow things and get things bigger. Then then that's when you get into the Facebook lead ads. That's when you get into those other scale and replicating leads using those other strategies. But totally forget what the question was.
Doesn't matter, because we got a really important one. Freddie Escobar says, perfect, I'm going to sign up now. This is what I was looking for my page. By the way, Freddie, the offer just disappeared, so I'm going to relaunch that. So, because we're beyond time, but we're going to keep going. But I wanted to relaunch that. So if you're like Freddie and you want to have that career acceleration path and launch into profitability and certainty of income, and be able to create those leads on demand, so it's not like this roller coaster of revenue, go sign up right now. We'll make sure that you get that.
Sign up now. Remember, the bonus gift for today, there's 2 gifts that you're getting when you sign up for the Marketing Club today. You're going to get our Facebook Marketing for Real Estate course, which is normally $597 in value, and that's going to help you implement that Facebook blueprint and the 5 campaigns that we talked about today. But you're also going to get our Facebook on $1 a day implementation plan, so that you have a very specific strategy to build an online presence, to be able to build up that word of mouth on just $1 a day. I can't, there are very few. Here's what I love about Facebook and why I see this as such a tremendous opportunity for us in real estate. is that because of the algorithm being preference-based, right? So it's finding what people want and sharing that. If you can work with the algorithm and we're using the content of our expertise and our likeliness in the videos that we're sharing in our expert videos, here's what happens is Facebook inherently, the algorithm likes that type of content. That content serves to build us as recognized professionals. That's why there's a lot of leverage in this strategy, because Facebook prefers the type of content where we're sharing our expertise. It just so happens that builds this tremendous online presence for us, positions us as a recognized expert, and because it likes this content, we're doing it for dollars a day. We're not breaking the bank. And this is where Facebook is different than the other platforms like Google Ads. Now, I love Google Ads, but it's not as effective. Like, I can't spend $1 a day using Google Ads. I can on Facebook, right? In theory, like if you look at a lot of the other strategies, you could go on a door knocking strategy, and trust me, you are spending more than $1 a day in your time doing that.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
You could use a cold calling strategy. You're spending more than $1 a day with your time, with what you're spending. And by the way, that, like, the cold calling thing really is a bummer. Right? Like, you guys know that's not a fun thing to do, and that's why we don't do it.
Yeah.
It's why we go to the office.
And door knocking, I mean, I got chased away by the police one time.
He actually door knocked in a gated neighborhood, and then the lady came out and she said, "I'm calling the cops." And Gary had to, wearing his 3-piece suit, like in
hoof it and launch myself over a fence. So,
great.
Chris,
He did this this was 5 weeks ago. No, just kidding.
No, that's not true.
It was 20 years ago.
Nella said, I signed up to, when can I start?
You will start instantly.
Yeah. By the way, if for any reason you don't end up getting that email in your inbox and you just can't find it in spam, email us at support@thepaperlessagent.com and we will hook you up. So go sign up right now, and let's get to another one of the questions. Amanda says, can I use this if I work with a partner? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason. I mean, Gary, like, we work as a team, right? We have me, I do the marketing. Gary's all about business development. Jonathan, his brother, is all about being that real estate advisor. So we work as a team to be able to do these pieces. So with, if you've got a partner, you've got a team member, you can use these strategies. Now, granted, you might want to multiply your presence by having 2 powerful online presences, meaning you might have a business page for each one of you using these strategies, or you might put them together and just be together. Maybe you'll do the videos together.
But I think ultimately, if you're in a partnership, you only need one subscription to the Paperless Agent Marketing Club.
Yep. If you're in a partnership, one should do it.
Yeah. So go sign up right now. I got another thing here. Where was that? This is a good one. I love this story. Susan said, I'm very excited. I'm doing this for my husband, who has been in the real estate business for 39 years. Wow. We have a small boutique office, and we are at the stage in our careers that we must, in this time, get active in the social media world. Your program looks like it will be great for us. Well, Susan, don't forget, after you join, you get to join our private Facebook group. Go join that, because we want to hear your success. We want to hear how well this is performing for you, and we want to see the ads. We want to be part of this with you.
Yeah, I think all of us really. It doesn't matter. I mean, all of us in real estate, there's something that we need, right? So in order to be that recognized professional, we need to create. We need to distinguish ourselves. Okay. I love a tool like Facebook because it really works for very low cost to be able to distinguish us from the other people in the marketplace. So those people who accept having to discount their commissions, it's because they look like everybody else. So when we show up because we're using these strategies, we are distinguished, we look different, we are recognized professionals because we are being different as a result of the campaigns and the strategies that we're using. And so we don't have to accept the will you discount your commission, because we can point specifically to exactly what we're going to do. So that strategy on marketing the listings to build an audience, you can use that same strategy to be able to show sellers what you're going to do differently. You can use that same strategy to be able to differentiate yourself to anybody else in your marketplace, and you build that into your listing presentation so it's part of the conversation that you have with people, because ultimately it all comes down to making a different set of promises, right? So if you're making the same promises that everybody else is making, guess what? You look like everybody else.
Yeah.
But when you show up differently and you're making a different set of promises, now you're distinguished, right? You're set apart from the others. And that's when people start to place a premium on your expertise, because you don't look or sound like anybody else that they've talked to. You don't sound like Aunt Bertha, who hasn't sold anything since the dust at an open house in the last 20 years, right? You look and sound differently, and you're making a different set of promises. And that's really what this all comes down to, right? Let us help you create that different set of promises, because the different set of promises boil down to this. It's the skills and knowledge that you have in being able to make those promises come true, right? So you're either going to make the promises and not deliver on it because you're like, yeah, I do Facebook, and then you go there and you can't do Facebook. Or you've got the skills and knowledge to be able to make the promise and fulfill on it. And so that is a huge part of what going through this career path represents, is being able to make those promises so that you can be that recognized professional and deliver on them. Gary, you always tell me that if you want to secure and cement that trust that we've been working to build, is that you make a promise and you deliver on it. You make a promise and you deliver on it. You tell somebody what's going to happen, and then it happens, right?
Yeah,
and
every single time. So, and that's a lot of what we do in training our members here in the club of exactly how to become that listing expert. So like, if you want to become that consummate listing expert, there's a lot that goes into before you show up for that listing appointment to build that trust. But what happens is, Chris, when you go through all of the processes, when you build that trust with them beforehand, I mean, you just show up and you educate them about what's going to happen during the appointment. So you're making promises, then you show up and it happens during the appointment. Guess what? Little things like that make a huge difference to them.
Now you might be saying, what do listing appointments have to do with Facebook? It has all to do with that 5-step career acceleration path. Because here's the thing. If you want to get to the place where your practice is on autopilot, you must focus on a listing business, because you don't have enough leverage if your way of growing your customer base requires that you spend more time driving around showing homes. There's only so many hours in a day. So the listing side of the equation is where you can scale, because you can carry more listings than you can showing the number of buyers that you can be working with to show homes and sell homes. And so if you want to get to that place where your practice is on autopilot, you've got to get to a place where listings is the focus.
And this reminds me of Hillary. She's a club member, and she has been working to transition from an all buyers business to an all listing business. Now, it's taken her about 6 months. But now, you know what she reported to me?
What's that?
She goes, I have too many buyers. And she goes, this is what she said. I've got a problem. I said, what's that? She goes, I've got too many buyers, and I'm just working on my listings right now, but I've got a lot of buyers. And I said, that's not a problem.
Well, here's the thing. It feels like she's leaving money on the table, but there's a solution to that.
There's a solution to that. And she goes, what do I do with all these buyers? I say, do you have another agent in your brokerage office who you like and trust? She said, yeah. I said, go partner with them and say, I'm going to refer these people to you, and you're going to pay me X% referral fee. And she's like, oh. I said, yes, you are hitting stage 5 of your career acceleration path, where you're putting your practice on autopilot.
Because what happens is, through that focus on using these strategies, like with Facebook that we've talked about, by focusing on developing that listing business, when you have listings and you're marketing listings, they beget buyers. Like, you're going to have a surplus of opportunity. And how you deal with that surplus of opportunity is really up to you, And I think, you could choose to start building a team. You could choose to start, bringing on folks and growing, or you can choose to refer. And all of them, it really depends on what your aspiration is, whether or not you want to build.
If you want to build a team.
You want to build a team, build a brokerage, right? Or you want to just keep things simple and keep yourself pretty, free from obligations and having team members and stuff like that, then you refer the stuff out to people that you trust. Both of them are viable options. It's really what's your personal preference. I find that people who like to help people and people who like to help coach and develop people, they'll lean towards the team solution. Those people who are like, you know what, I'm good actually just taking care of the clients and growing my real estate practice, they're going to gear towards the more freedom approach and refer that business out.
Yep. So for me, I've gone through all of those stages.
Yeah.
I've been through all of them, and we have a small team that works with all of the business that we're creating, and we're literally on autopilot. We take just very few clients ourselves simply because we've gotten to the point to where we get to pick and choose the specific people that we want to work with, and our team handles everything else.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling not to. When you can actually say yes or no, when you get to the point where you can say yes or no to somebody, yes or no to a client, gosh, that is like the ultimate feeling of being in control of your practice, where you get to actually decline someone because you're not worried about where the next deal is going to come from. You're like, you know what? You don't want to take my advice. I'm going to introduce you to somebody who you can do that with, because I only work with people who are going to follow what I tell them to do.
Norma says, I have 5 listings I need to promote. Well done,
you got
Norma.
inventory.
I'm hoping I can get buyers with this system. They're all in the Florida Keys. Love the Florida Keys. So Norma, absolutely. When you start creating these ads, like I said, go to the Facebook group. We'll post something in there so you can go in there and post the ads to get feedback from us and everybody else.
I think you've got a great opportunity because you can use those to build an audience. You can use those to build trust. And a byproduct, if you're opening that up, is that buyers are going to see that information. Now, a key component to it. Who was that? Who asked that question?
That was Norma.
Norma, a key component to it is remember that the process for getting someone, if a buyer is going to reach out to you, they must know, like, and trust you. So you really want to implement that entire blueprint and all 5 steps that we've talked about for every one of those listings, because if they don't trust you, they're not going to reach out to you. And that's just the fact of the matter is they can see the stuff, but if they don't know us, like us, and trust us, they're not going to reach out. That's where those lazy listing tour videos really play a key role. That's where sharing your expertise in those 1-minute videos really play a key role, is in communicating and developing that sense of confidence, of that trust that they have, because it takes time to build trust. You can either do it in person with fewer people, or you can do it online with more people. The only step that is required is that you implement these steps of willing to get yourself on video and shoot short videos sharing your expertise and promoting them for $1 a day. That's the step that it requires. So if you're willing to take that step, Norma, you're going to be in a great place.
Yeah. So 2 more comments. Joan Ricard says, happy to be a new member. Muskogee, Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
Welcome. And then Gayla says, $67 a month for how many months? This is month to month. Yeah. So this is all about you. It's really about, how long do you want to accelerate through this career path with us? And so what we find is that people get in it and they're like, whoa, this is like putting fuel on the fire. I'm liking this.
So let me share my screen really quickly, Gary, because I want to address an issue.
Oh, David said, just signed up. I have 4 listings that I need to get advertised. Can't wait. You can start right now. You literally, as soon as we're done with this, you can go in there and start going through this program to start promoting that and building your online presence.
So every month we do training, and it's to address that 4th part of the career acceleration plan of being able to scale and replicate leads on demand, because that part of the equation does change, right? So Facebook changes, Google changes, Instagram changes, LinkedIn changes, web technology changes, email changes. So that 4th step of the equation, we address through doing a training every single month. We record those trainings and put them in our library. And so my hope is that after you go through all 5 of these steps, and it's kind of cyclical, once you get through it, you might want to build up your online presence a little bit more. You might want to improve how you're marketing to your base or expand the base that you're marketing to. You might want to continue to refine the promises that you make on your listing appointment. And then you're going to want to continue to stay innovative in how you engage customers. And that's in that 4th part of this career acceleration plan. And so I hope that you will stay with us for a long time so that you can stay on that cutting edge to remain that recognized professional. But I also recognize for some of you, you're going to get in here and you're going to get what you need and you're going to be done, and that's fine too. That's why we do not have a commitment in terms of how long you have to be here. It's month to month. You cancel at any time, online, hassle-free.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate one last time, everything that you're getting when you sign up right now is, number one, you're getting
That's
those.
the wrong slide.
Oh, sorry. How did I do that? Anyway,
let me share my screen.
Yeah, you do that. I don't know
I have
why.
the right one here. Gary's trying to show you guys everything that you get when you join the club today, and it'd be right here.
Oh, is that not what I just shared?
No, you shared something else.
Well, why did I do that?
I don't know.
Okay. So what you're getting is you're getting our marketing club membership. This is a monthly program, and it's only $67 a month. In addition to that, you're getting Chris's Facebook Marketing for Real Estate, where he takes you step by step to go through those 5 phases and those 5 steps that we talked about today. That you're getting for free as a gift when you join. And when you join right now, you're getting Chris's Facebook $1 a day implementation plan. You're going to get all of that when you go over to that chat section, click on the link, and sign up right now. And with that, Chris, we've been here an hour and 50 minutes.
Wow, time has flown, Gary.
It has.
I don't know about you. I've enjoyed this. I've had a lot of fun sharing what we know about Facebook, sharing what's working for us, sharing a little bit about what it's like to, develop your career into that recognized professional, because I know that you guys, you've been here with us for an hour and 50 minutes. So I know that you have what it takes to succeed. You have everything that you need, because all you need to succeed is a will to change, a desire to make a change in what you're doing. And you've expressed that, you've demonstrated that by being here with us today. So sign up for the club so you can begin that first step in accelerating your career on that 5-step plan. Join the Marketing Club.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Like Chris said, join the Marketing Club right now, and we will see you online.
Take care, guys. Bye.